It was recently announced that Joe Biden plans to use taxpayer resources to run for re-election, opening the White House doors to his campaign and what the left wing calls an army of social media influencers, including those from the communist China spy app TikTok. Now, this move was called by one Fox host great. I call it illegal. Sadly, most in the Mitch McConnell GOP are choosing to look the other way. Joe Biden's Bud Light Dylan Mulvaney campaign strategy. That's our focus in today's preamble. It is illegal for any party to use government resources to benefit their campaigns, just as it is illegal for any party to use government agencies like the FBI, the DOJ, and the IRS to persecute, harass, and falsely charge political opponents to remove them from the political debate. But that's just what Joe Biden and his socialists are doing. Joe Biden's campaign is setting up shop inside the White House, reportedly allowing special access for influencers on social media, even users of TikTok, a tool used by our communist enemy, China. They use it to gather metadata on Americans, imperiling our national security and our sovereignty. Now, if Joe Biden's strategy sounds familiar, it should. Using influencers like Dylan Mulvaney was the brainchild of Bud Light. The marketing campaign sent a clear signal that Bud Light, and by extension, Joe Biden, well, they really don't care about what we the people think. It's all about them and their sensibilities, typical for leftist thought. Now, one can see why this self-centered strategy has an appeal. On Instagram alone, Mulvaney has nearly 2 million followers. His numbers are higher on other platforms. On the China spy app, for example, the man pretending to be a woman has over 10 million followers. Xi Jinping must be smiling from ear to ear. And though I may not agree with Joe Biden using an enemy of the United States as an ally to win election, the players involved are birds of a feather. Dylan Mulvaney is a man pretending he's a woman. Bud Light is water pretending to be beer. And Joe Biden is a puppet of China pretending to be a president. And Joe Biden needs millions of vacuous voters who think the #1 issue facing our world is normalizing science denial, not protecting our borders, citizens, and constitutional rights and liberties. Now, if you follow a fake woman, chances are you're going to vote for Democrats and Joe Biden. Now, there are drawbacks to be certain for supporting and voting for perverts, liars, and generally bad people. Some of those drawbacks can be seen in GovEd, like the shrubs who run Loudoun County, Virginia's schools. In those so-called schools, a 15-year-old boy claimed he was a girl to get access to his victims. The boy raped one girl. The school covered it up and transferred the boy to another school where he raped another girl. On the day of his sentencing of probation, no jail time, because he was a darling of the left, the judge revealed the young left-wing man also assaulted a third girl. Now, that right there is Christopher Wray and Merrick Garland-style justice. Rapists are now protected, a protected class among the worldwide left. Now, don't take it from me. Listen to Piers Morgan on a recent appearance on The Bill Maher Show.
And it was an extraordinary case of a male rapist who, as a male, raped 2 women. And then at his trial, suddenly put his hand up and said, I identify as a woman. And as a result, was sent to a female prison, to a women's prison. And there was such an outcry that the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, came under huge pressure and incredibly doubled down and defended what had happened. And women, understandably, went nuts and went, what are you doing? Putting effectively male rapists into women's prisons just because limitless self-identity now means this is what this person can do.
Now, if you support sentencing a male rapist to a woman's prison, essentially a buffet for the rapist, you may very well be a Democrat and a Joe Biden voter. Now, for the rest of humanity, those who are sane, our focus is to protect women, not to serve them up like lambs to the slaughter.
And if every time a woman stands up for women's rights at the moment, whether it's J.K. Rowling or Riley Gaines or whoever it may be, they get shamed, they get vilified, they get hounded, they get death threats, it's completely disgusting. You've got to be able to promote fairness for trans people, many of whom I think really suffer in this debate because a lot of it is so inflammatory on both sides, but you've also got to protect women's rights.
Now, Morgan there was addressing a left-wing extremist, a woman named Congresswoman Katie Porter. Now, listen as the Congresswoman, a Democrat, as she attacks women who are defending women and little girls, in particular in women's sports.
I think, some people have trans people in their lives that they know and they love, and they're concerned about their safety and their well-being. Other people, it's a new or unfamiliar topic, and we should be able to have a civil debate. Nobody, including Riley Gaines, who I disagree with strongly, should be
What do you disagree with, out of interest?
I think that it should be up to sporting bodies to make the decisions about who and how should compete.
What has she said that's actually wrong?
I think that what she has done is try to turn this. We talked about people, using things to kind of get likes and get clicks.
Whoa, wait. Riley Gaines and others saying it's unfair and dangerous for women to have to compete against biological males. It's all for likes and clicks? Now, what you all need to know is this is what every leftist does. If you don't adopt 100% of their ever-shifting worldview, your concerns are simply ignored or dismissed, just like you saw there. In the minds of a left-winger, you don't matter. The only thing that matters is the leftist advancing their agenda. And the agenda is so extreme, traditional liberals are now not on board.
We can't debate these things. I mean, they just seem so dogmatic about it that if you even bring it up. I've seen videos of teachers saying, I tell my kids there is no such thing as a boy or a girl. I can understand why someone out there who is a Trump supporter who says, you're always attacking Donald Trump because he gets rid of norms, and he does, and it's awful. But this is like norms about life itself. When you start talking about there's no such thing as boys and girls, to a lot of people, it's like, I need a Bud Light. That's...
Actually, no. I have to say, coming from Britain, nobody ever really needs a Bud Light. I mean,
no,
I'm aware I'm in the wrong room for this, but it's basically fizzy urine.
That's pretty much an apt descriptor of all woke left-wing policies. The United States of America isn't whatever Democrats need it to be for their political advantage. At least it shouldn't be. Our Constitution says being an American means something. There's a set of values that goes with that. Facts, freedom, debate, and not surrendering or pandering to deluded social media influencers, communist China, or valueless and lawless Democrats. Joe Biden's regime is guilty of weaponizing government against our people. And Mitch McConnell Republicans in the Senate are guilty of falling down on the job and allowing them to do it. To their credit, CBS News has reported that a high-ranking official inside the IRS is trying to blow the whistle on Joe Biden's regime, protecting Hunter Biden and the big guy from meeting justice for breaches of law that mountains of evidence say happened. As the House shows signs of trying to reverse the Democrats' damage done to our nation's fiscal health through the debt ceiling debate, let's hope the American people demand that their GOP senators show the same devotion to our nation's survival rather than their gutless and misplaced devotion to dangerous, law-breaking, and unethical Democrats.